guys, welcome to this video of hiring virtual assistants abroad and the do's and don'ts. So some of you know that I've been working with hundreds of entrepreneurs and virtual assistants, and I've noticed a few little patterns. There's a few common themes, and so I've created a list of the do's and the don'ts when you're hiring and even before you're hiring, okay? This is exactly what I wish I had known before I started hiring. So I hope I can save you some heartache here. By the end of this video, you guys are going to be so super duper clear on how to choose the best VA for you and for your business. For more tips and tricks on scaling with virtual assistants and growing your dream team, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you can get the notifications. You guys are probably wondering, why the hell should I trust this chick? Who is she? Well, my name is Becca Martini to start off with, but I also scaled my business with the help of virtual assistants to healthy 5-figure months within the first year, okay? And this is what I've helped hundreds of other entrepreneurs and business owners to be able to do, to streamline their businesses and their processes with the help of the right virtual assistants. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in, guys. So number one, I'm gonna cover the do's. So point one of the do's is know what you want to delegate and to which country as well. Because when you say hire abroad, right, there is a variety of different countries that you can be choosing from, okay? So for me, I choose to hire from the Philippines because I've worked with them in the past as well. I've worked with them in Australia, and I just love their overall attitude. They've got so much get up, they're go-getters, they have really great work ethic, and I resonate with a lot of their core values as well. So I have hired as well from India. I found some really great techie guys from India, web developers, SEO, that type of thing. So just have a think and do some research on which country you want to be delegating from as well. It's really going to depend on your industry and your niche, and also your budget, how much you're wanting to pay as well, okay? Point number two of the do's is be prepared. And when I say be prepared, I mean be prepared for onboarding. So prior to hiring someone, have a little bit of an idea of what it is that you are wanting to get them to do, and have it somewhere in the tangible world, not just in here. This is what I see probably majority of people do. Now, it's not necessary, but it certainly helps to have a smoother transition and smoother onboarding for both you and your coworker. Okay, so using a project management system, I know it sounds scary and it's not, don't worry. Asana and Trello are great. I use them both for onboarding new clients, for onboarding new team members, and we have our cards there. We have, welcome stuff there. We've got some steps and just some generalized processes for them to start off, because quite often us entrepreneurs and us business owners, we get so caught up in here. We want them to do all the things, but we need to get it out into the tangible world first, right? So we need to write it down and have it somewhere. It's going to happen sooner or later, so why not start prior to hiring someone, okay? Now, if you're already hiring, then you can get them to help you with those processes as well, SOPs, standard operating procedures, okay? I'm not going to jump into that right here, because that's a whole other video. Point number three of the do's is have really, really clear expectations and boundaries. And I know this gets thrown around a lot. I think the best way for me to explain this is there is no such thing as common sense when you are working in a multicultural team environment, okay? Because my common sense is completely different to some of their common senses, right? And vice versa. So we need to be understanding of that, and we need to, like I said, be really, really clear with those expectations and boundaries, right? So you can save the headaches and the heartache in the long run. So make sure you're being clear right from the get-go, right from when you're posting your first ad or you're having your consult with a recruitment agency. Make sure you're clear on what you're looking for. Point number four of the do's, guys, is do be specific with what exactly you're looking for as well, right? What exactly are you looking to delegate, and how does that fit into some sort of a role as well? I think so often we can get caught up in, I want them to do social media management, web development, lead generation, sales, marketing, right? You are never gonna find someone that fits under that umbrella and is a superhero at all of them. So just be realistic as well when you're being specific, okay? So be super specific, write down the list, and then figure out which role it fits in and prioritize it as well. And number 5 of the do's, last but not least, is have a bit of an idea about what the hourly rate is for the position or the role that you're looking for, specific to whatever country that you're recruiting from, okay? Because we've got like vast differences in our hourly rates internationally, okay? Like I mentioned, I recruit predominantly from the Philippines, and an Australian hourly rate differs greatly to what a Filipino hourly rate is as well. So do your research and know what is the range so that you can negotiate fair and ethically when you are doing your interviews and your candidate selection and whatnot as well. Okay guys, now we're up to the don'ts. Number 1 of the don'ts is don't get your heart set on somebody super quick, right? So if you're going out and you're doing the candidate selection and the screening and you have interviewed one person and you're like, yes, they're the one, don't stop there, please. Keep on going, because the chances, you need to have range, okay? And by having range, you need to interview more people. So I would recommend interviewing at least like minimum 8 to 10 people and screening 20, 25 plus people. That means going through all the resumes and the CVs and then shortlisting for the interviews, okay? Don't get your heart set on one person, because it's really early stages as well, all right? So just keep your options open and have some range and go through the entire process, and it will pay off in the end, because you'll get closer to your ideal value matched VA. Number 2 of the don'ts, guys, is don't go in blind with your recruitment and your candidate selection, okay? It goes a very long way to show a bit of interest in culture and different ways of doing things, okay? So get to understand their culture and their values, and a little bit how they might present themselves and the language that they use as well, so that you can go in better informed, and therefore professionally you can do a better job at the other end with hosting the interview and being the recruiter as well, okay? So do a bit of research and just a quick Google search and find out a little bit about their background and their culture before going ahead and hiring abroad. Point number 3 of the don'ts is don't be oblivious to their holidays and their celebrations, okay? This all ties in with culture and communication as well. If you guys know anything about Filipino culture, then you would know that they love their celebrations, and they are very family-oriented people as well. So that is one of their core values. It is something important to them, and it is something for you to keep into consideration. Okay guys, point number 4 for the don'ts is don't be frustrated and upset if they don't understand you straight away, okay? So there are going to be some communication errors and some communication misunderstandings that come up, okay? We are working with multicultural teams. Working with native English speakers, there's enough misunderstandings as it is, so have some compassion, have some understanding, and it will go a very long way. And this is like one of the foundational points of being a leader as well, and having really good leadership skills and being respected. If you are an unapproachable person and you get frustrated and upset and short and tempered if there's failures or mistakes, then the chances are in the future when these things are happening, you're not going to know about them, but they're happening anyway, right? Whereas if you adapt the mindset where you welcome failures and you welcome mistakes, because they will happen, it's inevitable. That's how we learn from failure. So if you adapt that mindset where you welcome them, then you are going to be an approachable boss or an approachable CEO that your co-workers feel that they can come to, right? And what's the best thing about this? Well, that's how you grow, that's how you develop. That's how you look at the internal aspects of your business and you improve, right? That's where the growth happens, through failures and through mistakes. So really adapt that mindset and welcome those failures and mistakes, and be open and transparent with your team about that, and let them know it's okay. Let me know if something goes wrong, or if something doesn't work out and if something doesn't happen. We can refine, we can tweak, and we can make it better. This is all about optimizing and making things better and innovating as you go along, and it starts with you. Okay, and point number 5 of the don'ts is don't just assume that they understand what you mean. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you're having a meeting and you've pointed out all these different things and delegated 5 to 10 different things, right? Don't just assume that they know all of those things, they're going to go ahead and do it because they've got their to-do list, okay? You need to be, with all of my meetings, I go in and I say, okay, can you write these points down? Know what your to-dos are, know what your follow-ups are, and you know, this is project planning, okay? So when you go in and you're having meetings with someone, get your VA or your co-worker to write down notes, and then after the meeting, get them to send them through to you so that you can go through and double check them, all right? Approve them, make sure that you guys are on the same page. This, you know, you might not need to do this forever, but certainly do it in the beginning, okay? It's not micromanaging, it's simply just making sure that you're all on the same page, and it's going to save you a lot of headaches down the long run as well, because if they're doing something that they think is right based on your meeting and there's been no confirmation in between because something's got lost in translation or for whatever reason, right, you can nip that in the bud before something happens simply just by reviewing their notes at the end of a meeting. Okay, with my team, we put all of our to-dos and our follow-ups in our Asana board, our team Asana board, and I can see those there. I can see who's assigned to it, and I can see on what day it's due as well. So make sure you're covering all those things in your meeting. This is the best way to make sure that you and your teammates and your VAs are on the same page as each other. I'm curious to know, what is the first thing that you would delegate to a VA if you're not already? Let me know below. If you're already delegating, I'd love to know what things in your business you've streamlined and you're delegating out. Comment below and let me know. Now you guys know all the do's and don'ts of hiring abroad, and I hope you've got some value out of this. Now you're probably thinking, where to from here? Where do I actually hire? Where do I start with the recruitment? I've created a foolproof recruitment guide for you guys, okay? I've put this together. Check out the link below. It's down there. Go download it and see what you can get out of it. For those of you that are looking for a more hands-on community as well, I do have a Facebook group called Scaling with Virtual Assistants, where I share a lot of my hacks and a lot of my SOPs, standard operating procedures, and things that have worked for me as well. So you can get some value out of that. I'll leave the link below as well. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching this, and I do hope you got some value or some golden nuggets out of this. Now check out my next video where I talk about how to find the best VA and how to keep them as well, because this is a whole nother ball game. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe and share with your friends as well. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again.